accomplishments, he's three division undisputed. Moved up 2 divisions to beat Canelo. So he's probably he's accomplished more than Mayweather for sure.
This may be the last time we see our legend, the greatest fighter of this generation. I told y'all back then that Bud would beat Floyd Mayweather. Y'all didn't believe me.
He'll do it. But what I'm saying is, if you have a victory over this man now, just doesn't. What for what? Terence Crawford, we know what you are.
Legends are calling it the moment that changed everything. Terence "Bud" Crawford didn't just beat Canelo Alvarez. He shook the very foundation of boxing history, rising through weight classes, dominating opponents far bigger than him, and doing it with a style so sharp it left fans stunned. This is why many now call him the greatest of all time. Robert Garcia echoed that belief, pointing out that Crawford achieved something even Floyd Mayweather never dared to attempt. Garcia emphasized how Crawford convincingly swept 9 to 10 rounds, displaying a relentless hunger that Canelo simply couldn't answer. And for Garcia, that single fact alone places Crawford on a throne Mayweather himself never claimed. But that
already accomplished too much. I've already done too much, and he wasn't. I don't see that hunger in him anymore. I don't see that those changes anymore. He fights flat-footed, throws 1 punch at a time. He's not fast anymore, and that's why I picked Crawford by decision.
Are you surprised at how easy it was?
Look, not that I'm surprised, because what I just told you, I think Crawford is very talented, and Crawford is hungry to become a legend. He wanted to become that three-time, 3-division undisputed. He wanted to go up, he wanted to make history by going up 2 divisions to beat Canelo, one of the greatest of all time. So he was hungry for it. I think Canelo has already done so much, has made so much money, that he's not hungry anymore.
Do you think possibly that Crawford is up there with Pacquiao or Mayweather?
I think in accomplishments, he's three division undisputed. Moved up 2 divisions to beat Canelo. So he's probably he's accomplished more than Mayweather for sure. Mayweather never became undisputed, but that doesn't mean he's better than Mayweather. I think in a fight at welterweight, Mayweather in his prime would beat Crawford, and Pacquiao in his prime would probably beat Crawford. But Crawford has accomplished more.
Do you think Crawford should retire after this or fight someone else?
Look, I think a rematch would be fucking good for Crawford to just beat him again and do the same thing if Canelo doesn't have any changes. If he doesn't, he needs to do a lot of changes. Canelo needs to...
that Crawford needed another massive fight, possibly against David Benavidez Hackett, shut it down immediately. To him, Crawford has already cemented his legacy. Moving up in weight and dismantling Canelo Alvarez in such dominant fashion was more than a win. That was the kind of victory that defines an entire career. Hackett stressed that Crawford's leap from welterweight to super middleweight wasn't just bold, it was unheard of. In Hackett's eyes, this one fight told the entire story of greatness. Crawford doesn't need Benavidez, he doesn't need anyone else. Because sometimes, one battle is enough to etch a name permanently into the history books. And Crawford's tried.
The Canelo effect, right? All right, he jumped over 3 buses. Let's say if you could do 10 buses. You know what I'm saying? He trying to test his limits. And they think the money is going to keep getting him out there. That fight is pointless. The fight is pointless because nobody ever talked about that fight until now. And then, I don't feel like Bud needs a Benavidez. And then that would mean Benavidez would have to go into a different body and bring himself back down to 68 when he's already getting settled in at 175. And, you know, I believe Benavidez has some tough tasks in front of him that he want to conquer before he even talking like that. I don't even think he want to talk like that because there's really no point. He wanted the Canelo fight because Canelo was the man at 68. He was at 68. I don't think he cared about fighting Bud, and I don't think Bud cared about fighting Benavidez. That's just Turkey trying to pull rank. Turkey trying to show he got a golden arm. You know what I mean?
I understand that Turkey likes to make these big grand events, but there's a boxing aspect to the shit too. Like some stuff gotta make boxing sense. Bringing the dude down that's been comfortable at 75, bringing him back down to 68, and then having him fight a dude that just jumped 3 weight classes in 2 fights and started his career off at 35.
Right.
Like, no, bro, no.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Like, there's no point. Like I said, Bud need to just go get a line of suits, I'm saying, get ready to just start talking about this shit.
What kind of sushi?
I don't know. I don't know what's the best.
Crawford's victory, one of the single greatest feats in modern boxing. For him, this wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. This was destiny carefully built, step by step, from welterweight to middleweight, and finally to 168 pounds. Crawford climbed with precision, preparing for a night that seemed written in stone. Showbiz marveled at how Crawford appeared sharper than ever, executing with flawless control against Canelo Alvarez. To him, this was the fight of fights, the ultimate chapter that needed no sequel. Showbiz declared, the debate finished. Crawford has nothing left to prove. His dominance over Canelo already revealed everything the boxing world needed to see. And if there was any doubt before, this fight
Thoroughly just knew there was no way Terence Bud Crawford beat Saul Canelo Alvarez at 168. Canelo Alvarez was the super middleweight undisputed champion and younger. Terence Crawford was 26 at lightweight. Canelo Alvarez at 26, what was he, a middleweight? Terence Bud Crawford just grew to 154 at 36 years old. Canelo hasn't been able to make 154 since he was a baby. Terence Bud Crawford jumped up from welterweight to super middleweight to beat one of the greatest fighters of all time, to become 3-time undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Enough said.
Enough said.
It shed light on his victory against Errol the True Spence. That is for damn sure. Just the way he dominated him. Errol Spence was in there like, what the? If Canelo is saying there wasn't shit I can do in there, Errol Spence had to have been in there like, holy shit. It brings light to his resume. Everybody done it. We kind of knew that Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao avoid Terence Crawford. I can't say Manny Pacquiao avoided Terence Crawford, but Bob Arum definitely did. PBC, welterweights in the PBC, all avoided him. I am here to give credit to Terence Crawford for being one of the most ducked fighters in history. So you cannot any longer blame his resume, his greatness, and look at his resume when we all know, genuinely, we have to be genuine, that he is one of the most ducked fighters of all time, like Bob Foster, like Black Murderers Row, Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and all those guys. Listen, Terence Crawford by himself is Black Murderers Row this era. Now, do I need Terence Bud Crawford to continue fighting? Hell no. For what? If you beat Terence Crawford now, what do you want him to strip down to 160, lose that muscle mass he has, and be a little bit? We saw that with Roy Jones Jr., but he can do it. He's the everything man. He can do it. But what I'm saying is, if you have a victory over this man now, just does it, what for?